Dear student, today we are going to learn marine biome. In this lesson, we will get a description of marine aquatic biomes. We will also know the different principal characteristics, types, and nature of the marine ecosystems. As you know, on Earth, the major part of the Earth is covered with water. And this water biome, this aquatic biome, is larger in compared to terrestrial biome. So we have a great deal, a number of aquatic ecosystems are there, which is constituting aquatic biomes compared to terrestrial biomes. If you want to get an idea, the total aquatic proportions on Earth, you can just look at this slide. This slide you can see that this is overall water. Out of this total water, salt water, which we generally say marine water, it is around 97.5%. Only 2.5% water is fresh water. Of this 2.5% fresh water, there are 68.9% water which are tapped in glaciers and permanent snow covers. So we cannot use them directly. And around 30.8% are in groundwater, including soil moisture, swamp water, and permafrost. Permafrost means the water remains in frozen condition for more than 2 years or for longer time. That is called permafrost water. And you will be surprised to see that only 0.3% of water, fresh water, out of this 2.5% are in lakes and rivers. The scenery is shown here on a graphical pattern. This is the overall content of water, where you can see 96% or you can say 97% are salt water. Only 2.5% are the fresh water. Here, out of this 2.5%, 68% or 68.7% are in glaciers and ice covers or ice caps. Groundwater around 30%, and remaining 1.2% water are subsurface water, not under the ground, not in glaciers. These are the waters which are found in lakes and rivers. So of this 1.2%, you can see groundwater or permafrost condition. Ground ice or permafrost condition, you will find around majority of the water, around 60%, and we have around 20.9% in lakes, and remaining less than 1% for each share. You will get here rivers, lakes, ponds, streams. So there you will find more than or less than 1% of water. So this is what our distribution of water. So you can see the major biome. If we say the marine biome, it is having around 97.5%. So this is the largest biome of the world. Basically, if we divide the aquatic biomes, we will get two main types of aquatic biomes. One is marine water biome and second is freshwater biome. So our today's topic is marine water biome. What is marine water biome? This marine biome is an environment characterized by the presence of salt water. So this is the primary criteria of marine biome, and the difference from the freshwater biome, that the marine biome contains salt water. So it is the, as I have shown you in the previous slide, around 96% of water is salt water. It is the largest biome in the world, not only aquatic, overall biome in the world. So if we divide the marine biome in a very simple way, we can divide into two zones. One is photic zones and aphotic zones. Life exists in both the zones, but photic zones prefer maximum life. Whatever, in the photic zone means the 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 area or the distance up to which a light can penetrate, the photic zones, the light can reach to the extent is called photic zones, and where the light cannot reach, totally dark, it is called aphotic zone. So the ocean or the sea you can divide into two zones directly. One is photic zone and another is aphotic zone. You know that biomes are actually made up of ecosystems, and when we talk about marine biomes, these are actually some composition of ecosystems. And here in case of marine biomes, we have 6 ecosystems. In different books you may find different names, maybe one or two, one more or one less, or 7, 6, like 5, like that, but overall there are 6 simple and straight ecosystems that constitute the marine biome. The first one is the open marine ecosystem. Second is ocean floor ecosystem. Third is coral reef ecosystem. Fourth is estuary ecosystem. Fifth is saltwater wasteland ecosystem. And sixth is mangrove ecosystem. The first one is marine open ecosystem. So if we consider the whole ocean or marine water as an ecosystem, this is what called the marine open ecosystem. So this is the main ecosystem of the aquatic biome or marine ecosystem, marine biome. That is why it is called major type of marine ecosystem. So the sea life floats or swim. Obviously the sea life is there, either they floats or they swim. And the euphotic zone, and it extends to a depth of about 150 meters. There you can find, this is the, you can see the the whole open ecosystem. To the extent you can see, this is the whole marine ecosystem. And there are sea lives, you can see they float or they swim, and the light can penetrate to some extent, and it is around 150 meters in this ecosystem. So overall it is the main ecosystem of the marine biome. Next is the ocean floor ecosystem. If we consider the water part of the marine open ecosystem, you can also see that on the floor of the marine ecosystem, marine biome, there are some lives, there are some different biotic and abiotic interactions. So this is what called ocean floor ecosystem. In general, although we have ocean floors for different depths, for example, starting from 100 meters to 4,000 meters, 5,000 meter depth in ocean, in general, when we talk about ocean floor ecosystem, it is the ecosystem up to which the light can penetrate. That is why this has a little limitation. Means when we talk about ocean floor ecosystem, we are talking an ecosystem where the light can penetrate, means the shallow water, the shallow part of the ecosystem, floor of the ocean. So that is why you can see a first point, shallow water, sunlight can penetrate to the bottom. So obviously this is what the ocean floor ecosystem. And certain types of fish, crustaceans, oysters, worms, etc., seaweeds, smaller organisms, these are available in this floor. This is here, you can see some organisms are there, and these are some of the valves, and these are some of the corals. So these are there, they require light and the organic food. So that ocean floor is occupied by these organisms, and that is what the ocean floor ecosystem. And if you go to the greater depths of the ocean floor ecosystem where sunlight cannot penetrate, there you'll find some of the organisms are there. They can produce their own light, bioluminescence organisms. So this is although shallow water, but where the darkness is there, light cannot penetrate, there also you can find organisms with some bioluminescence properties. That also covered in ocean floor ecosystems. Third one is coral reef ecosystems. As you know what is coral, it is called the rainforest, the food, the productivity of the ocean is measured in terms of the availability of the coral floors. So coral reef is actually a life of the ocean organisms. So it is a subtype of sea floor ecosystem. As we have seen in a previous slide, ocean floor or sea floor ecosystem, it is a kind of subtype. Here you can see this is the corals. Also they are on the floor. But even though they are said a separate ecosystem because they harbor a number of communities in them. So this is itself is a kind of an ecosystem. So this is called the coral reef ecosystem. It is found only in warm tropical waters and relatively shallow depths where light can penetrate very easily. And about 1/4 of marine species depend on coral reefs for food, shelter, or boat directly. So this is what the source of or ground of food for different organisms living in the marine waters. And that is why it is known as the rainforest of ocean. The fourth one is the estuary ecosystem. Estuary ecosystem is a junction, is a shallow sheltered area of a river mouth where fresh water intermingles with salt water. So the water becomes salty or freshwater mixture. It is a mixture of salt water and fresh water. So many times it is called brackish water. So the organisms which are there in this estuary are little bit different because they have to be adapted to survive in a mixture of water. Occasionally, the freshwater fishes or organisms travel the brackish water, visit the brackish water, but they remain there. Or the fishes or organisms which are in the salt water, they may visit the brackish water but may not remain there. The brackish water organisms have some different adaptations, osmoregulations. So that is why it is a different kind of ecosystem. It serves as a function as a nursery of many types of fishes and shrimps. Shrimps and fishes. Nursery means some of the fishes, their breeding takes place in the freshwater, and their growth and adulthood it takes place in the seawater. So in between, this brackish water or estuary system helps them to grow during the juvenile or in between these two stages, the breeding stage and the adult stage. So shrimp itself is a totally complete, fully dependent or crustacea that is on the brackish water. So this ecosystem also has an independent set of communities. That is why it is a separate ecosystem that is attached to marine ecosystem. And another one is saltwater wetland estuary ecosystem. So it is a special type of estuary, as they also consist of the transition zone between land and sea. So there you can find that many times they remain as a land, then they convert to sea. So this is, you can say, the land area is inundated by the water, sea water, and it is converted to a different ecosystem for around 1 year or 6 months. Then the water recedes, then it becomes another kind of ecosystem. So this is saltwater wetland estuary ecosystem. As you know, wetland means the low lying water for temporarily 2-3 months, and the whole biotic setup changes. And when the water recedes, the biotic setup again shifts to another setup. Similarly, in case of ocean or salt water also, the neighboring areas sometimes converted to some aquatic ecosystem through inundation of the salt water, that it becomes a wetland type. The organisms inhabiting estuaries are especially adapted to these conditions, this kind of temporary conditions. And this is also function as a nursery for many types of fishes. We have saltwater swamps and also salt marshes. When you get the inundation of water, it remains sometimes more than 1 year, 2 years, and then it transforms to different other system. When it is saltwater swamps, we say actually it inundates with a habitat where the trees are there, the big trees are there, and the total community changes through tree to water. The organisms, they are in a adapted form with tree as well as the water. But when it is salt marshes, the trees are not there. These are grasses and water. So same situation, but here the trees are off, but grasses are there. That time also the organisms are different, and that is why these two different saltwater wetland estuaries ecosystems are there. One is saltwater swamps where trees are there, another is saltwater marshes where grasses are there. Then last one is the mangrove ecosystem. Although the mangrove ecosystem is, you can say it is coastal ecosystem, or you can say the intertidal ecosystem. Mangrove is especially given a focus because the mangrove can sustain with the salt water. This is a tree which can sustain with salt water. They have special advantages. The roots, you can see the roots. These roots can easily extract the salt, or they can filter the salt, and they come out to the above the ground for aeration. You can see this is characterized by trees that tolerate a saline environment, whose root system extend above the water line to obtain oxygen, presenting a maze-like wave. And not only that, these trees are there, that is why they create an ecosystem. The organisms you'll find in the mangrove ecosystems are different. They adjust with the mangrove forest, and they grow there, and that way they breed there, and they make the overall habitat as their place of survival. So that is why it is called a different ecosystem, the mangrove ecosystem. The animals, you will find them, there is mainly sponges, shrimps, crabs, jellyfish, and different fish, also birds, crocodiles, etc. So here we got 6 different types of ecosystems, and these ecosystems are spread from the coastal area to the deep sea area. And this coastal area to deep sea area, you will find the distribution of animals are different. That is dependent on different zones. For example, intertidal zones, neritic zones, oceanic zones, and benthic zones. The first one is intertidal zone. Then you can go to neritic zone. Neritic zone is the zone between intertidal and oceanic zone. And finally, the deep zone is called the benthic zone. What is intertidal zone? It is where the ocean meets the land, the coastal area, sometimes submerged and some other times exposed. During the tidal situation, or waves are there, so when tide is not there, this is exposed. When tide is there, this is covered. And the animals are mainly jellyfish, some crabs, etc. there in this intertidal zone. Then you can find a pelagic zone. Pelagic zone is just following the intertidal zone, but it has also some depth. In one word, you can say the whole oceanic zone after the intertidal zone is called pelagic zone. This is, you can see, this is the intertidal zone, and this whole zone is called pelagic zone. This is whole zone is called pelagic zone. But generally, when we talk about ecosystem, we mean the pelagic zone mean the first few areas where life exists. In these areas, deep sea area, in the bottom, life may not exist. But whatever, the overall open ocean area is called pelagic zone. This pelagic zone is divided into neritic zone and oceanic zone. In this pelagic zone, again you will find, see, epipelagic, which is the surface pelagic zone, then mesopelagic, bathypelagic, then abyssopelagic. So depending on the depth, this pelagic zone is again divided into different classes, and these classes are depending on the depth, on the penetration of light, and also with the difference of lives. Whatever, this is clear that the first zone is intertidal zone and the second zone is pelagic zone, and the third zone is the benthic zone. Benthic zone is the area below the pelagic zone but does not include the very deepest part of the ocean. That I told you, this pelagic zone, this whole pelagic zone, this is the water area and called pelagic zone, and this area which is the surface of the ocean is called benthic zone. But in general, when we talk about benthic zone, we consider the zones where life exists. Those are very deepest part of the ocean, although benthic zone, but we don't consider them because we don't go for the discussion of the lives. Then fourth is the abyssal zone. Abyssal zone is the actually deep ocean zone where life hardly exists, and it is very cold, around 3 degrees Celsius, highly pressured, high oxygen content but low nutritional. Even though if life exists, the life forms are different. For example, some fishes are there, their eyes are on the back of the body, means they are flat, and eyes are closed, not on the side of the body but on the top of the body. So these areas are known as abyssal zone. So what we have learned from today's lesson? We have learned that marine biome is actually a saltwater system, and there are different zones in marine ecosystem. We have also learned that the biodiversity in marine biome exists in photic zones, and there are few organisms which are in aphotic zones. They have different adaptations, and we have also learned that there are 6 major types of marine ecosystems. They are mainly marine open ecosystem, ocean floor ecosystem, coral reef ecosystem, estuary ecosystem, saltwater wetland estuary ecosystem, and mangrove ecosystem. Thank you, students. Next time we will meet again with the freshwater biomes. Thank you very much.